When I was young, I went for a walk through the woods with my dad, and there was this incredible fence. It was a gamekeeper's fence, and the gamekeeper had shot all these trophies, you know, like squirrels and rooks and crows and moles, and there was just this huge fence with all these incredible kind of creatures that have been barbed on like a barbed wire fence and just hung at the back of the neck. So they're very elongated and stretched over the years, and again just perfectly preserved. And we took some squirrels off, and these are the original ones.
Hunters and Gatherers is basically about the art of assemblage, but the idea is really that assemblage is something that has been part of our fabric and part of the art historical fabric since the beginning of time. If you think about the notion of hunters and gatherers, until we became an agricultural society 10,000 years ago, that is how we found our food. We scavenged, we foraged, we hunted, we gathered. And I always felt that impulse is embedded in our genes, and that artists themselves are a particular kind of hunter-gatherer.
It's not like we sort of go out foraging now and come back, don't come back until you got something, so it's just...
I think it's quite fascinating
happens,
because I might see something in the street and bring it back, and then Tim would say, oh, I looked at that, I was going to bring that back later, sort of thing. So we both sort of home in on stuff. You don't really have to wander far around here to find interesting materials to use.
In Central Africa, different cultures created accumulative sculptures, which were assemblage artworks. And the idea across all these cultures was that art was intimately connected with religious and ritual practice. And in order to reach out to the other world, one had to use sculptures which became the vessel for these forces.
Liz, in your area, is the ritual important? Is the metaphysical aspects important?
Absolutely. I think with artists in the early part of the 20th century, the focus wasn't so much on representing the world as we know it, but representing the world as it could be, or how we can transform it in our mind.
I always think that ours is an art of circumstance, and it's kind of guided by the stuff that you do find. Set about finding a model maker from Madame Tussauds that could help us recreate a pair of Australopithecines, which is based on early man. And we used this expert model maker to kind of make half ape, half human pair. So it kind of had the essence of Tim and I sort of walking together as a pair of early creatures.
Whether it's a piece of furniture, a Johnny swing bench made of coins, to a found metronome, to a painting. And it's that vibration, that pulsation, that interests me in this exhibition, so that it becomes an assemblage in and of itself.
Putting all of these forms of individualized expression in one exhibition is really meaningful, because it just shows this universal force among all of us, that we all have this compulsion to collect.
I think you can spend your life either like looking in the gutter or staring at the stars. So you're either like that or you're kind of like that. And if you're sort of looking at stuff, you start picking up on details. And just walking down the street, if you start picking up bits of kind of junk and stuff like that, there's no pressure on the material. So it's just kind of, it opens up your mind more when you're actually kind of working with it with your fingers and stuff. So it's just something to play with, isn't it? Things like that.